and today we will recite the poem Across the Border. Dear children, writers often use their power of imagination to think of creatures and lands that do not exist in real life. Now we will read this poem in which the speaker uses her imagination to create an imaginary land. Across the Border is a poem that seeks to create a magical world as children would love to imagine. It is peopled with fairies and magic trees, white birds, talking birds, trees, leaves, and so on. The speaker is obviously a child who thinks that this place must be quite close by, in fact, just across the border, where she has played happily all day long, chasing silver wings and a roaming song. Then, when she hears whispers of the hours that night is coming softly, she returns to her home with common and real things like flowers and brown birds and candlelights. In this video, we will recite the poem Across the Border written by Sophie Jewett. So, in the poem Across the Border, the poet uses her imagination to create an imaginary land. The border refers to the border between the imaginary world and the world of reality. So these two worlds are separated at the border, hence the title is Across the Border. Now, let's recite the poem and explore the poet's power of imagination to think of creatures and lands that do not exist in real life. First stanza. Where all the trees bear golden flowers, and all the birds are white, where fairy folk in dancing hours burn stars for candlelight. In the first stanza, the poet describes this imaginary land as a place where all the trees bear golden flowers and all the birds are of white color. Now, the use of the color golden and white are highly symbolic. It symbolizes the land of purity and cleanliness. In this imaginary land, the fairies come out and use starlight to dance in. Second stanza. Where every wind and leaf can talk, but no man understand, save one whose child feet chance to walk green paths of fairyland. In the second stanza, the poet introduces the communication system of this new world where, unlike the world of reality, every wind and leaf can talk. So here The object of nature, which are leaf and wind, are in charge of speech and language. Means they cannot talk to a man but with each other. So here, nature is superior to man because it can talk and has a special language that even man cannot understand. However, there is an exception. And what is that? Except the child who chanced to walk on green paths of fairyland can understand the language of the leaf and the wind. I followed two swift silver wings. I stalked a roving song. I startled shining silent things. I wandered all day long. It was the third stanza. In the third stanza, the poet or the speaker follows two quickly moving silver wings. She followed a roving song without being seen. Roving means traveling around from place to place. The speaker roams around all day in this magical land, following birds, butterflies, and the song floating in the breeze. She also startles silent things. Fourth and the last stanza. But when it seemed the shadowy hours whispered of soft foot night, I crept home to sweet common flowers, brown birds, and candlelight. In the last stanza, poet takes us back to the world of reality. The speaker now goes back to the reality or home where the sweet common flowers, which are not the golden ones, are there, brown birds, which are not the white one, are there, and candlelight instead of starlight exists. And at the end of the poem, the tone has now changed from a sense of peacefulness to awareness of reality. So the now so now the night is approaching slowly. So the speaker here returns back to the common world, to the world of reality where common flowers, brown birds, and candlelight are present. Now let's discuss a few words that have been used in the poem. Save. Here, save meant accept. Swift. That means moving quickly. Stalked. Here meant followed without being seen. Roving. Traveling around from place to place. Startled meant here frightened or surprised someone. I hope you all have enjoyed the poem and understood the meaning of the same stanza wise. Thank you.